After choosing Mainline as my pick of the week in this week's eShop Roundup video, I quickly snaffled up a review copy and hit the keyboard to begin my hacking adventure. What I found was a fun game, albeit one hamstrung by a vital problem. What is that, you ask? Ha! It won't be so easy to gain that information from me as easily as you can get information in this game. So this is my review of Mainlining on the Nintendo Switch. Now, Mainlining sees you as a new recruit in the newly reformed MI7, and after a major security breach, you're tasked with sifting through a variety of case files to follow a tangled web of criminal mastermindery. Ooh, is that a word? Yeah, we'll go with it. Mastermindery, and uncover the parties responsible. Thankfully, your access to private data has never been greater thanks to the government's new BLU Pill Act, which holds information on everything from a person's private emails to banking information and supposed private documents held on people's PCs. You will need to process all this information as you try to gather enough evidence to force an arrest and close each case. Access to this data comes via your work's computer, which for the most part mimics Windows XP, although later cases allow access to faux versions of Mac and Linux. The use of Windows XP is very cleverly done though, from allowing you to choose a pixelated version of the old avatars when logging into your account, to forcing you to use dial-up to access a rip-off of Internet Explorer. It's amazing to think that a lot of the younger audience playing this could hear that classic sound of a dial-up modem and not have a clue what it is, but it still sounds like sweet music to me, and after hearing it I still wait for the sound of the MSN Messenger login or the title music to the original Doom to start playing. Ah, good times. Anyway, nostalgia is a big draw in this game. I always fancied being a bit of a hacker, and Mainlining is about as close as you can get, certainly on the Switch anyway. For the time I spend in my day job managing a web server, a lot of the feel of using terminal commands is really accurately depicted here, and would actually be my first concern with the game. I think if you didn't really have a slight inclination of using command line input in this way, you'd probably struggle to even get started in this game. Like using command line input in real life, you can bring up a list of commands to use at pretty much any time by typing help, but even so, be aware there is a little bit of a learning curve to get going here. The game does ease you into things quite nicely though, slowly introducing new pieces of software you can use, and then in turn that builds on your library of hacking commands. The main flow of the game will see you receive the details of the next case via email, along with any supporting files you may need, be them photos or documentation. Your job is to then study those files and start to probe anything you can via your PC. The game cleverly has a type of scoring system for each case, with there being multiple crimes a suspect can be convicted for, each carrying a more serious sentence. So yes, whilst you may have ultimately got your target convicted, that 5-year case for something inconspicuous could have been a 15-year sentence for a more serious crime if you'd kept digging around and found more evidence. Mainlining is definitely a fun game, or at least something very different on the Switch. It's a point-and-click adventure at heart, and at times reminded me a little bit of Papers, Please, as you have different document windows all open at the same time and your eyes are darting around them, trying to ensure you don't overlook that one vital piece of information, which is the difference between a false conviction and a watertight case. Oddly, putting together the wrong case against a suspect results in an embarrassing headline for MI7 in the newspaper, and you get to try again. I'm not sure of the thinking behind this, as it just pulls you out of the world you're in, as the newspaper clearly states that you got it wrong and the suspect was released. But then you can just keep resubmitting your case with different pieces of evidence, and if you keep getting it wrong, you just keep getting the same newspaper headline. It obviously wouldn't happen in the real world, and I would have preferred something like you having to present your evidence to a superior first, and then they could knock you back saying it's not right before telling the world. The biggest issue with Mainlining though is it's unfortunately not suited to consoles in my opinion. I would imagine this feels so much better playing with a mouse and keyboard on a PC. Your sole thing you do in this game is interact with a PC, and using a controller or even a Switch touchscreen is just not an ideal way to play. To their credit, developers Rebel Elephant have come up with a really cool way to type on a virtual keyboard, with the left stick and ZL used to press keys on the left half of the keyboard, and the right stick and ZR does the right side. After a minute or two, this feels really natural, and as I say, credit to them for this, and I'd like to see this system used in all console input going forward. But prolonged use of it in-game, primarily based around typing, becomes tiresome, especially with the lack of keyboard shortcuts, so there's no arrow keys or copy and paste functions. The virtual mouse pointer is also slow and imprecise to use. Although you can speed it up to zip around the screen faster, it still feels a chore. As I said, you can use the touchscreen as well if you prefer, but for my sausage fingers it was similarly frustrating. My overriding feeling for comparison would be like using a mouse and keyboard to play FIFA or Madden on a PC. Yes, it's possible to do, but it's not the best or most natural control method for that particular game, and you'd pretty much be quickly yearning for a gamepad. Now, before I get to my closing thoughts, I'd just like to thank you for watching this review, and if you're new here, please subscribe, press the like button below, and maybe leave me a comment below as well. Okay, Mainlining is a unique point and click puzzle game, and for the price, if the subject matter of privacy and security interests you, then I'd say there's probably some fun to be had. How far you actually get with it will vary due to your tolerance of that input method. There are some head-scratching puzzles at times too, with very little direction on what you need to do, and sometimes even when it feels logically you have the right answer, the game just won't allow you to go that route, insisting you conform to the narrative it's set out for that case instead. With these small issues and the bigger issue of the control input method, I'm going to give Mainlining on the Nintendo Switch a 6 out of 10. With an alternative input method, this could probably have been a point or two higher. Okay, thanks once again for watching this review, really appreciate it. And again, if you are new here, please subscribe below if you want more Nintendo Switch content, or hit that like button if you're already a subscriber. It's really appreciated, and I enjoy reading all your comments. I will see you on the next video. Remember to stay switched on and enjoy your weekend, guys. See you later. Bye.